What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to your Bitcoin update. I do have some exciting news for those of you that like to trade altcoins. I'll be telling you about that here in a few. First, let's get into the charts and let's see what's going on. So we talked about this fractal over here. We'll take a look at it in some other charts. Make sure you stick around for the whole video if you want to get the whole view. So anyways, back here in March, we had called the top on the channel and we were looking for 5 waves down, which we got for wave A. And then we talked about everyone getting extremely bullish in the bull trap of wave B, which I do believe is quite possibly done now. And we are starting our 5 waves down for C. If that is the case, we could see well below 20,000, possibly be below 10,000 in the beginning of next year. But let's take a look at what's going on right now. Our volume is declining rapidly, as you can see here, as we are rising. So let's go into the next chart. Before we begin, make sure you guys go under the video. Let me show you where. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Also, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. It is right here. I see there's 87 of you that already hit it. There's 162 people watching, so make sure you smash that like button. This is, like I said, around 16.5 would be the one-to-one extension, and I'll show you what I mean by that. If we take our Fibonacci, let's see, our fib extension from this top wave up here, from our 64 top, down to this bottom of wave A to the top of wave B, if wave B is done here, that gets us right around that 16.5 for a one-to-one extension. Now that doesn't mean it has to stop there. If this happens, it could go much lower. Bitcoin usually goes much lower and much higher than people think on both ends of the cycle. But like I said, before we get in any further, I do want to show you guys Prime XBT, by far my favorite exchange. Now you can also trade ADA, Doge, DOT, EOS, Ethereum, Link, Litecoin, Solana, Uniswap. They just added these. I'm not a big altcoin trader, but I know a lot of you guys are. So if you do want to trade alts on Prime, which I prefer and is my favorite exchange, I do have a tutorial on it here under the in my video I'm sorry, not my video descriptions, on my YouTube channel. If you go down to here's some helpful videos, there's a Prime XBT tutorial, teaches you how to change your leverage on there. Also teaches you how to use my promo codes. If you use my promo code SAVVY50, that will get you 50% on top of whatever you deposit as a bonus to use towards your margins. So if you put in 1 Bitcoin, you get a half a Bitcoin free to use towards your margin. Savvy25 will get you 25% off of your trading fees. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. Links are down below, also in the description of the video. So anyways, this is what we're looking for, guys. Let's get into this is where we were looking at this fractal. Does still seem to be playing out. We'll take a look at it in a few more ways, but let's take a look right now. This is on the 4 hour. So right now, let me move this to the bottom of that. Right now, we're getting rejected at the 0.5 fib of this move here. This is just, let me zoom out so you guys can see. This is just this move here. If you'll notice, last time we had this move, we went up above the 0.618. If that's the case, this could be wave 2 that we're forming now, and then wave 3 down, and then of course 4-5. We're gonna watch for that, but let's take a look at one more thing. If you guys watch me on Twitter or you belong to the Discord, if you don't belong to the Discord, it's totally free. Definitely check it out. The link is down below, and a bunch of great people in there, a lot of people trading, a lot of bulls, a lot of bears, so you get both sides of the view. So let's take a look. This is what I put on here on my Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, give me a follow. It's at CryptoSavvy1. But we're looking at this as an ABC and then a continuation down. If this is 2, so I'm looking for around 48.67. And the reason being, if we throw the fibs on here, and again, guys, I don't This channel is not for making calls, telling you when to trade. This is not telling you when to long, when to short, when to buy, when to sell. That is totally up to you. I'm showing you how I get my ideas and what I do to get them. And if you guys have followed along, before we go into this, I'll show you some videos of the past where everybody was extremely bullish. Everybody was calling me crazy. And this one's from March 24th. This is what it would look like if it plays out and we go to that 63 or 64 throughout. So we called the 63 or 64,000 way before it happened. Then also, if you look at May 18th, when I called this a wave and named the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves all the way down, in my opinion, because this would be wave A, which like I said, around June, towards the maybe middle end of June. No way to really tell exactly where. And again, guys, this will bounce around for a little bit, but if this does happen, look for a nice bounce in June. Might be a good time to long for another a wave B. Now the wave B should go like a ABC. Maybe we'll get up to the 41, back down to the 30, and then back up to maybe the 51, 52,000. And that was from May 18th. There's one more here. And this is where I talked about what everyone would do when we hit this wave B. This is what I'm looking at. And I do believe if this plays out, a lot of people will be getting super bullish again and buying in while big money sells into them and pushes them. So as we've seen in the B wave, everybody's extremely bullish again. Now let's go back to this chart here. So I posted in there this morning that I would be, actually this is going to be down a little bit, and we actually hit it, that I would be, oh, I'm sorry, no, that was 48.67, so right in that range. So I posted this morning that I would be adding to my shorts here. If you guys follow along, you know I had shorts way up top at 51.1. I took half the profits out at 44, believe it, yeah, 44. And I've added shorts in at 47 again, and I'll be adding more in at 48.67. My stop's at 50,500 right now. That'll be exactly break even, and then I'll reevaluate from there if that happens. So far, I haven't had to put one in here, but let's say, let's get this down here real quick. Let's look at the Fibonacci extension. And if we look at this as wave A, B, C, if we use the Fibonacci extension on that, we go from the bottom up to A, then right back down to B. And that one-to-one extension's right there at that 48.67. That's how I look at that as a possible ABC. And if that's the case, and that is wave 2, then we would look for, I'm just showing you guys how to look for this. So we would go to the top of A1 or wave 1, go to the bottom of wave 1, and we would go up to 2 if that's the case. And I'll show you some other targets too if we blow by that. But if that's the case, we get stopped there, come down, then our target at that point, if this was just going to be an ABC, our target would be around 37.8 would be the one-to-one extension for that. And if we go down and that's wave 3, then we would be looking for around the 31.6. That would be 1, 2, 3 down to the 31.6, and then we would have a wave 4, maybe up to 40,000, and then back down for wave 5. So looking at it like that. Now, that could be raised higher. Let me show you what I mean by that. So if we went from the top of this to the bottom and we went back to the golden pocket zone, whoops, that's the wrong, put the Fibonacci retracement on there, from the top to the bottom. So if we did go higher, we would put, let's say we got up to the golden pocket zone. That's going to be between 49.1 and 59.5. Then our wave 3 would look something like this, all the way down to around 32.7. So if we get as high, we could go as high as the 50,800, which is a 0.786. That would raise wave 3 to about 34.3. We're going to go into more charts, and I'll explain a little bit more here. But as you can see in the RSI on the 4-hour, even if we do get that pump up to that golden pocket zone, which is around 40, between 49.1 and 49.5. That will give us some major hidden bearish divergence here, and it would definitely seem to roll over. Now let's look at what's going on here is this fractal. As you can see, this time we never came back up and retest, but if we were to come up and retest, that would be somewhere in the area of 51,655 for a retest of this. Although I don't think that's going to get that high, but it is possible. So keep an eye on that. If any time we get above this trend line right here, then that will invalidate this count. But as of right now, this count is still valid. If you guys remember, anytime we cross this green trend line up here, which on a whole from the big retracement, the 0.786 is around 57.7. If we do cross above that, get support on the green line, then I get bullish. But until then, I remain bearish. This is what I'm looking for. So let's look at a couple more things here. Oh, the daily close. I wanted to talk about that real quick. Which chart was it in? Right here. So this daily close, as you can see, we're getting rejected on this trend line right here for the RSI, and that's off of these two bottom peaks. If we do get rejected, like I've been saying, I do believe we come back down for a retest of this trend line right here. And that would be a good time to long, because that will probably be our wave 2 if it plays out like it did over here, which I still think is very possible. Let's go into... this is just looking at how Bitcoin usually tops. We've talked about this plenty of times. And that just being, it usually makes a triangle like it did here in 2017 and 18, and then another in 2019. And this could just be a bigger triangle we're forming here. We've talked about this. That C wave going down does not mean it goes directly down. You know, whoops. We could see something more in the lines of this. Bounce up, bounce around, waves down, then get another fake out here, and then continue down. So, guys, if you're looking for straight lines, then you need to start learning more about markets. Let's take a look at this. This is something else I wanted to point out here. Let me put some trend lines in here. This is the 1 hour. So, if we were to do something like this, well, actually, you know what? This is what we're going to do. This would be the most bullish case scenario here. This is the most bullish case for me, although I do not think this is going to happen. I will show it. It's up to you to make your own decisions. That would get us up to that 50,200, which again would be around... There's a high volume node there, so that is a possibility, that 50,200. Remember, my stops are at break even at 50,500 for my short I've been in forever and a day. If you guys would, check out my wife's webpage, anchorimage.com. There is a link down below. Scroll down, you'll see it. One of the biggest sellers right now is the Divergence Cheat Sheet Mousepad, which looks like this. If you're new to trading, it's one of the best things to have. Divergence can be confusing, but there's also a lot of other Bitcoin stuff. She makes signs in there. She can put anything you want on any of this stuff. Just ask if you want your pictures of your pets or whatever. It doesn't matter. All right, now let's take a look at... This is the daily, and this is the long-term fib channels. Along with, you can see I have these parabolic arcs drawn in here. And every time we've broken this parabolic arc, this was back in 2014. Once we broke that, we began our bear market. 2018, once we broke it, we began our bear market. And if you notice, when we break this arc, we played around with it quite a few times before finally breaking through, and it was obvious when it broke through. Same thing over here. This was back in May when we broke this. We played around on it for quite a while before we broke. Now, for the bullish case, I have drawn in this blue arc here. We did come down to test it, got a bounce off of it, and we have tested it again. Will this ride this again for a little while before breaking? If so, if this blue line breaks at any point here, the bullish case is definitely 100% off the table. in my opinion. As of right now, there's still a possible, you know, bullish case of the 70, 80,000, 100,000. I highly doubt. Smart money's not going to let it get to 100 if everybody's planning on selling there. So I believe we break this one too, but I believe the bear market was confirmed over here. That's my honest opinion. Make your own decisions. This is just that bull market barrier. We were expecting to hit this right here where this thicker red line is on the barrier, as you can see. And after every top, we always come up and test that before entering the bear cycle. Same thing here in 2018, came back up, tested it before the bear cycle. And if we go all the way back here, in 2014, came back up, tested it, and never returned until the bear market was over. So let's take a look at, this is the dollar index overlaid on the Bitcoin chart. As you can see, every time the dollar tops, Bitcoin bottoms. Every time the dollar bottoms, Bitcoin tops. The dollar tops, Bitcoin bottoms. The dollar bottoms, Bitcoin tops. Nothing has changed there. The DXY is looking a little weak right now, but we have made, this is the 4 hour, we have made some exaggerated divergence here. Looks like we are ready for a bounce up. If you look at the RSI, we can draw some trend lines in here like this. This does seem to be forming a wedge. So we'll probably come back up and test the top again. If it does break, that'll be super bullish. If not, we come for one more test to the bottom. We'll see what happens here. The Dow Jones, same thing. If the Dow Jones breaks this trend line, and that's at about 34.5, most likely we are headed down to, actually we would go off of this low up to here. That would get us down to right around 31.5. And it doesn't mean it goes down in a straight line, guys. But we've been talking about this bearish divergence for years. It's had here. It's getting near its top if it already isn't there. Gold, same thing, guys. You guys know nothing's changed for gold in my opinion. Silver, same thing. I have my targets down here for silver. Same thing. Nothing's changed, guys. Let's see what happens here, and I'll get into the chat. JB, I appreciate your knowledge, savvy. Your charting is on point. Thank you. Thank you, JB. I appreciate it, man. How do you determine where to put the parabolic arcs? Let's go back to that chart. I'll show you. So the parabolic arcs, as you can see, if you go over to your, well, you can't see it on here because it's cut off on YouTube, but over in your tools section, if you go to where the paintbrush is, there is a curve in there, and it's right here, and you put your points to the curve. You can stretch them out, do whatever you want with it. But how you get the arcs in here is you go from each low. You put that arc in and go from each low. You can see each low here is bottoming out on the arc, and once it broke, that was it. Same thing right here. It was off at each low here. And if we go over here, it was off at each low right here. That is how you get the arc in. And again, I said I made it from this point over here to give the bulls one more chance. We'll see what happens. I don't think it's looking very good for the bulls. We're getting rejected pretty good at the 0.5 here. But again, if we do get up and test this 0.618, the golden pocket area, we could get up to here. But either way, if you look at the RSI from there, if we do get up to that, that's just going to create some major hidden bearish divergence. Is it anchorimage.com? No, it's InkYourImage. Here, let me pull it up. You can see it right over here. Let me get that off of there. Right here, InkYourImage.com. That's all together. There's no spaces in it. As a matter of fact, here, I will put it in the chat for you guys. Whoops. Dang it. I'll try to. Hold on a minute. Here you go. Put it in the chat for you guys. InkYourImage.com. Check it out. Awesome way to help support the channel. Happy wife, happy life. So let's see what happens here, guys. Anybody actually in positions right now? If you're not in one right at this minute, I wouldn't advise getting in one. What's up, Kevin? What's up, Kara? Jim Dressin, what's up? Yes, sir. I quit my full-time job last year, Jim. It's been over a year now, a little over a year. So you think 44K was bottom of wave one? No, D-Man, I didn't say that for sure. I said it's a possible. I still think we could go down further. This could be wave 4 and 5 down still. Google user, Saver, let's say you put a short in at 50K. When is your first point of taking profits of 50K at 5x leverage, and how much would you sell? It depends on what you're doing. Like, I don't know your personal, it all depends. Everybody's risk is different. Everybody's risk tolerance, everybody's financial situation. So if you follow along, go back to my videos where I was laddering in shorts and everybody said I was crazy, and then look and you'll see where I took profits. I was laddering in shorts from around 48,000 all the way up to my last one was at 50. I think it was, I don't remember what my last one was, but my average was 51.1, and I took 50% of those of the profit plus my initial capital. So my initial capital plus 50% of the profit I took out at 44,000 and left the other 50% in. Now I've added more shorts at 50 or 47, and I will add more at that 48. But my stops are going to be at 55.5, which is where my average is now, which will be break even. Janet, thank you for the super chat, and thank you, Google user, for the super chat. So another thing, anybody that wants to be involved with the weekend videos, they are for members only. It's $4 a month. You just click that join button under the videos. If you don't see the join button, go down underneath the video. I'll show you how to do that. And it's for members only. That way we get more interactive and talk more, and we don't have all the trolls. But let's see. If you go to scroll down under the video, hit the description, you'll see all the affiliate links here, and you go all the way down to the bottom, and there's a free Discord group, and there is a right under email, there's a memberships. You can click on that, and that'll get you in there. But that is on Saturdays and Sundays. Oh, and I want to apologize for not making a video yesterday. I was going to do it after going to work on the property. That's why I decided to do it before today, because there was supposed to be rain yesterday. And then I had issues with my pickup. And then finally, when I did get home, the storm started and we lost electricity. So there was no way of doing a video. I was tired anyway. To be honest, I probably wouldn't have done one when I got home. I was pretty beat. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate all the support. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And make sure you tick that notification bell. That'll get you notified when I post new videos. Take it easy, guys. Thank you again for all the support, and I'm out of here.